Hey, welcome back, everyone. Welcome to Everything, the game about everything. Hopefully, you're enjoying the playthrough. It's kind of a weird game, like I was saying, very existential, but I enjoy it. And really, the most important thing, at least for me on this day of the year, is maximum chill. It's all about, relaxing, having fun, and, enjoying the day. But really, there's no reason why this day has to be better than any other day. So, pretty much what I have to say is that, you know, even on holidays, you should find a way to be happy even outside of such days. Outside of that, my name's Alichi. Check out our daily streams at twitch.tv/Team Exelika. Follow us on Twitter, and we got a Patreon link below as well. Other than that, let's get started. So right now, we are this landmass, I guess. I wonder, can I reach that, or do I need to get bigger? I need to get bigger, I think. Ascend. No, way too big. You must bond first. Uh-oh.
You, as a human being, you grow out of this physical universe in just exactly the same way that an apple grows off an apple tree. So let's say the tree which grows apples is a tree which apples, using apple as a verb. And a world in which human beings arrive is a world that peoples. And so the existence of people is symptomatic of the kind of universe we live in. Just as hair on a head is symptomatic of what's going on in the organism. But we have been brought up not to feel that we belong in the world. So our popular speech reflects it. We say, I came into this world. You didn't. You came out of it. We say, face facts. We talk about encounters with reality, as if it was a head-on meeting of completely alien agencies, and the average person has the sensation that he is a somewhat that exists inside a bag of skin, a center of consciousness, which looks out at this thing, and what the hell's it going to do to me? I recognize you. You kind of look like me, and I've seen myself in a mirror, and you look like you might be people. So maybe you're intelligent, maybe you can love too. And perhaps you're all right. Some of you are anyway. You've got the right color of skin, or you have the right religion, or whatever it is, you're okay. But there are all those people over in Asia and Africa, and they may not really be people. When you want to destroy someone, you always define them as unpeople.
That last bit, he's basically kind of saying that a problem that I think we kind of have as humanity is that the first thing that we do when we have an issue with somebody's race or religion or, sexuality or gender identity, things like that, right? The first thing that I've seen historically is that you make it seem as though they're not human anymore. It's what he was saying, that they're not people. Therefore, they're evil, which I think is definitely wrong, you know? Ultimately, it's just a way for, someone to break down another person to feel superior or feel better. And I think one of the most important things is kind of coexisting. There's no reason that we should look at people as, kind of fundamentally that difference is bad, right? Because difference is what makes the world kind of go around. Everything around us is unique. And that's one of the best parts about being human, because we can perceive that difference. Ew. multiple thought bubbles here. So right now, we're playing as the Earth. It's quite interesting. One of the things, like I said, what I like about this game is I don't want to necessarily tell you what to think about it, but I think that if you're willing to kind of listen and think about what it's saying, I think that there's a lot of value in a game like this. Perfect spheres moving in perfect arcs across a perfect galaxy. And here you are. That's kind of cute. Very, very positive, actually. Whoever did the soundtrack for this game did a really great job too, I think. Life mostly involves going out and entangling yourself with others, but I want to show you another way of getting mixed up. A very beautiful thing you can do, and that's dancing. To dance is to move in a pattern and not towards anywhere in particular. To make yourself the destination and to enjoy never quite arriving. Dancing always takes two, but the more the merrier. Everything dances a little differently, so try doing it with different things. Join with two or more things. Then stop moving. So we have to find something to join with. Maybe over here? I don't feel like myself to the degree I feel like a different self, a much wider one that doesn't seem to end.
We have this hostility to the external world because of the superstition, the myth, the absolutely unfounded theory that you yourself exist only inside your skin. Now, I want to propose another idea altogether. Billions of years ago, you were a big bang. Now, you're a complicated human being. But so we define ourselves as being only that. If you think that you are only inside your skin, you define yourself as one very complicated little curlicue, way out on the edge of that explosion, way out in space and way out in time. And then we cut ourselves off and don't feel that we're still the Big Bang. But you are. Depends how you define yourself. You are actually, if this is the way things started, if there was a Big Bang in the beginning, you're not something that is a result of the Big Bang. You're not something that is a sort of puppet on the end of the process. You are still the process. You are the Big Bang, the original force of the universe coming on as whoever you are. See, when I meet you, I see not just what you define yourself as, Mr. So-and-so, Miss So-and-so, Mrs. So-and-so. I see every one of you as the primordial energy of the universe coming on at me in this particular way. I know I'm that too. But we've learned to define ourselves as separate from it.
It's pretty interesting to think about it like that. So that last ascension, I don't even know what we were. I guess the fourth dimension or something? I'm not really sure. I enjoy stuff like this a lot, but I'm actually not very scientifically minded. Well, rather, actually, I don't think that's true. Rather, I would say that I don't know that much about, when it comes to this kind of thing. You know, I don't know much about like galaxies and, you know, what's around, you know, space in general. I've always found it to be quite interesting, but honestly, I think there's a good chance that in general, we probably just don't know much anyway. You know, space is like almost infinitely vast, far more than I can comprehend, so I can't even fathom, you know, what's out there. I think space is something that everyone thinks about to a degree, and I really wish there would be a little bit more funding for discovering and exploring what's out there, but there's a lot of dangers in it too, at least with our current technology. A process, a pattern, a force permeating every dimension, indivisible and yet countless in parts, and you in every direction. Everything is equally true and equally false. That is really crazy to think about. Actually, kind of curious to see. I guess it's like another nebula. I never took any astronomy courses. I kind of wish I did in school. Although I always enjoyed learning about what we did whenever we did cover space. I was like the planets. Funny enough, what helped me learn the planets is as a little kid, I enjoyed Sailor Moon a lot. So, of course, that's back when Sailor Pluto was around, and I mean, I guess she's still around. She was in Sailor Moon Crystal, but you know, Pluto's not a planet anymore. Apparently, what is it? Is it a dwarf? A dwarf star? Or a gas giant? I don't remember.
What I would call a kind of a basic problem we've got to go through first is to understand that there are no such things as things. That is to say, separate things. That is only a way of talking. If you can understand this, you're going to have no further problems. I once asked a group of high school children, what do you mean by a thing? And first of all, they gave me all sorts of synonyms. They said it's an object, which is simply another word for a thing. It doesn't tell you anything about what you mean by a thing. Finally, a very smart girl who was in the group said a thing is a noun. And she was quite right. A noun isn't a part of nature, it's a part of speech. There are no nouns in the physical world. There are no separate things in the physical world either. See, the physical world is wiggly. The clouds, mountains, trees, people are all wiggly. And only when human beings get working at things, they build buildings in straight lines and try and make out that the world isn't really wiggly. But here are we sitting in this room all built on straight lines, but each one of us is as wiggly as all get out.
I like that. Things are very much a, you know, it's a part of speech. You know, what is a thing? Thing is what you make of it. This isn't an interval of time, but a fixed eternity. The entire process is flowing inside and out of everything at once, in infinite detail and without a single imperfection. When you search for meaning out here, you'll find only yourself. So, hopefully you're enjoying our time learning about our existence and going through space and time itself within everything. Life is always fair. It can't be any other way. Only it might not always look that way from your point of view. I think we're gonna do... You know, this is pretty chill. I think we're gonna do more of these in the future. I don't know when, but I feel like there could definitely be some value in doing some more of this game. Kind of interested to hear your thoughts about it. Just because it's such a, I don't even know if I can necessarily call it a game. I mean, I guess in itself it's technically a game, but it's just such a unique experience. But definitely, let me know your thoughts on the game, and I'd be interested to hear, you know, what everyone else enjoys. Did you enjoy learning about space in school or even right now? Or, what are some things you like to do in order to learn about the world around you? I gotta say, Netflix has actually been quite great for, they have a lot of amazing documentaries. I've learned a lot through Netflix. Let's check this last thing out real quick, and then we can start wrapping up here. Thoughts are the friction between things and other things. Thoughts would never exist if everything thought it was the same thing. As you go around listening to things, their thoughts will make impressions on your mind. When you go out and experience life, you'll have your own thoughts, and they will reflect the things you've listened to and absorbed. Give thinking a go. Just try not to take it too seriously. It's kind of funny. I like that. Actually, let's check out this audio real quick. The entire process is myself. Alright, getting hold of the wiggly world.
Now then, when you want to get control of something that wiggles, it's pretty difficult, isn't it? You try and pick up a fish in your hands, and the fish is wiggly and it slips out. What do you do to get hold of the fish? You use a net. And so the net is the basic thing we have for getting hold of the wiggly world. A net is something regular. And I can number the holes in a net. So many holes up, so many holes across. And if I can number these holes, I can count exactly where each wiggle is in terms of a hole in that net. But in order to do that, I've got to break up the wiggle into bits. I've got to call this a specific bit, and this the next bit of the wiggle, and this the next bit, and this the next bit of the wiggle. And so these bits are things which I mark out in order to talk about the wiggle, in order to measure it, and therefore in order to control it. But in nature, in fact, in the physical world, the wiggle isn't bitted. So the world doesn't come thing. You and I are all as much continuous with the physical universe as a wave is continuous with the ocean. The ocean waves, and the universe peoples. And as the wave, I wave at you and say, you. The world is waving at me with you and saying, hi, I'm here. But the way we feel and sense our existence, being based on a myth that we are made, that we are parts, that we are things, our consciousness has been influenced so that each one of us does not feel that. We feel we have been hypnotized, literally hypnotized, by social convention into feeling and sensing that we exist only inside our skins, that we are not the original bang, but just something out on the end of it. And therefore we are scared stiff. Because my wave is going to disappear. And I'm going to die. And that would be awful.
So, I think that's where I'm gonna leave everyone off. Pretty interesting, I have to say. Hopefully you're having a fantastic Christmas as you are debating your existence, or any other holidays that you're celebrating either today or in the future. Of course, we got New Year's coming up, 2019. Gotta make it a good year. Try to find a way to live with few regrets. Other than that, thank you so much for watching this series. We'll probably do more, but definitely, let me know in the comments if you're interested in this kind of thing. I personally am very into it, and I love talking about it. And, maybe I can even do some more just research on various scientific things so I can talk about it a little bit more in depth. I'm a little bit out of my element, but I am interested in just how all of these things are. But thank you for watching, and again, I hope everyone has an amazing upcoming few holidays. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see everyone later.